Question 1. When analyzing a surplus lines insurance policy in Kansas, which of the following best practices should be followed to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the policy coverage? A. Reviewing the declarations page only. B. Consulting with an insurance broker to understand policy nuances. C. Examining the entire policy, including endorsements and exclusions. D. Ignoring policy exclusions if they seem irrelevant. Correct answer. C. Examining the entire policy, including endorsements and exclusions. Explanation. To ensure a comprehensive understanding of a surplus lines insurance policy, it is essential to examine the entire policy, including endorsements and exclusions. The declarations page alone does not provide a complete picture of the coverage. Consulting with an insurance broker B can be helpful, but it does not replace the need for a thorough review. Ignoring exclusions D can lead to misunderstandings about what is and is not covered. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department K8R 405104. Filing of surplus lines insurance policies. Question 2. Rachel, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is handling a surplus lines insurance claim for a large commercial property damaged by a severe storm. The insured has provided initial damage reports, but the extent of the damage is not fully clear. What should Rachel do to ensure a thorough investigation? A. Approve the claim based on the initial reports to expedite the process. B. Conduct a site visit, interview the insured and other witnesses, and hire structural engineers to assess the damage. C. Rely solely on the insured's damage estimates. D. Request additional documentation from the insured and delay the investigation. Correct answer. B. Conduct a site visit, interview the insured and other witnesses, and hire structural engineers to assess the damage. Explanation. Rachel should conduct a site visit, interview the insured and other witnesses, and hire structural engineers to assess the damage to ensure a thorough investigation. This comprehensive approach will provide a clear understanding of the extent of the damage and support an accurate claims decision. Approving the claim based on initial reports, say, or relying solely on the insured's estimates. C. Can lead to inaccurate settlements. Delaying the investigation unnecessarily. D. Can cause dissatisfaction and potential disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department K8R 405104. Standards for prompt, fair, and equitable settlements applicable to all insurers. Question 3. Which of the following is a critical factor in negotiating and documenting settlement agreements for surplus lines insurance claims in Kansas? A. Ensuring the settlement is based on the insured's initial claim amount. B. Using ambiguous language in the settlement agreement to allow flexibility. C. Releasing and documenting the settlement agreement clearly, including all terms and conditions. D. Settling the claim verbally to expedite the process. Correct answer. C. Releasing and documenting the settlement agreement clearly, including all terms and conditions. Explanation. Releasing and documenting the settlement agreement clearly, including all terms and conditions, is critical to ensure that the settlement is legally binding and enforceable. This practice prevents misunderstandings and disputes. Selling based on the insured's initial claim amount without proper evaluation may lead to inaccuracies. Using ambiguous language B. Can cause confusion and potential legal issues. Verbal settlements D. Are not reliable and do not provide a clear record of the agreement. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department K8R 405104. Standards for prompt, fair, and equitable settlements applicable to all insurers. Question 4. Which of the following is a key role of the claims adjuster during the surplus lines insurance claims process in Kansas? A. Acting solely as an advocate for the insurer. B. Ensuring thorough documentation and fair evaluation of the claim. C. Making settlement decisions based solely on the insurer's interests. D. Limiting communication with the insured to avoid conflicts. Correct answer. B. Ensuring thorough documentation and fair evaluation of the claim. Explanation. The claims adjuster must ensure thorough documentation and fair evaluation of the claim. This ensures that the claims process is transparent and equitable. Acting solely as an advocate for the insurer A, or making decisions based solely on the insurer's interests. C. Can compromise the integrity of the claims process, limiting communication with the insured. D. Can lead to misunderstandings and disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KA Art 405104. Standards for prompt, fair, and equitable settlements applicable to all insurers. Question 5. Which of the following actions is considered unethical for a claims professional handling surplus lines claims in Kansas? A. Providing clear and honest communication to all parties involved. B. Prioritizing the best interest of the insured above all. Or C. Disclosing confidential information without proper authorization. D. Adhering to the state's regulatory requirements for claims handling. Correct answer: C. Disclosing confidential information without proper authorization. Explanation: disclosing confidential information without proper authorization is considered unethical and can violate privacy laws and professional standards. Providing clear and honest communication. A. And adhering to regulatory requirements. D. Are ethical practices. While prioritizing the best interest of the insured, B. Is important, it should be balanced with the interests of all parties involved. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KA Art 405104. Confidentiality and privacy requirements. Question 6. When determining coverage and liability for a surplus lines claim in Kansas, what is an essential step? A. Ignoring policy exclusions to favor the insured. B. Reviewing the policy in its entirety and consulting legal counsel if necessary. C. Making assumptions about coverage based on previous claims. D. Relying solely on the insured's interpretation of the policy. Correct answer: B. Reviewing the policy in its entirety and consulting legal counsel if necessary. Explanation: it is essential to review the policy in its entirety and consult legal counsel if necessary to accurately determine coverage and liability. Ignoring policy exclusions. A. Or making assumptions based on previous claims. C. Can lead to incorrect conclusions. Relying solely on the insured's interpretation. D. May not provide an objective assessment. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 7. During litigation of a surplus lines insurance claim in Kansas, what is a crucial responsibility of the claims professional? A. Minimizing legal expenses by avoiding expert testimony. B. Providing thorough documentation and evidence to support the insurer's position. C. Delaying the litigation process to pressure the insured. D. Ignoring settlement opportunities to maximize the insurer's position. Correct answer: B. Providing thorough documentation and evidence to support the insurer's position. Explanation: providing thorough documentation and evidence to support the insurer's position is crucial during litigation. This ensures that the insurer's case is well supported and credible. Minimizing expenses by avoiding expert testimony. A. Or delaying the process. C. Can be detrimental. Ignoring settlement opportunities. D. Can lead to prolonged litigation and increased costs. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for litigation and dispute resolution. Question 8. In Kansas, what is the importance of understanding policy exclusions in surplus lines insurance? A. They can be ignored if the insured is a preferred client. B. A. Define the limits of coverage and help manage risk. C. A. Are only relevant if a claim is denied. D. A. Are automatically waived if the policyholder is not at fault. Correct answer: B. They define the limits of coverage and help manage risk. Explanation: policy exclusions define the limits of coverage and help manage risk. Understanding these exclusions is essential for accurately assessing coverage and liability. Ignoring exclusions. A. Or assuming they are only relevant if a claim is denied. C. Can lead to misinterpretations of coverage. Exclusions are not automatically waived based on fault. D. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy analysis. Question 9. John, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is handling a surplus lines insurance claim for a damaged warehouse. The insured claims the damage was caused by a recent hailstorm. However, initial reports suggest possible pre-existing structural issues. What should John do to ensure a thorough investigation? A. Approve the claim based on the insured's statement. B. Conduct a detailed site inspection, review weather reports, and consult with structural engineers. C. Deny the claim based on initial suspicion. D. Rely on the insurer's internal reports without further investigation. Correct answer. B. Conduct a detailed site inspection, review weather reports, and consult with structural engineers. Explanation. John should conduct a detailed site inspection, review weather reports, and consult with structural engineers to ensure a thorough investigation. This approach helps determine the actual cause of the damage. Approving the claim based on the insured's statement A, or denying it based on initial suspicion C, can lead to inaccurate conclusions. Relying solely on internal reports D, without further investigation, can result in an incomplete assessment. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Claims Investigation. Question 10. What is an important consideration when negotiating a settlement for a surplus lines insurance claim in Kansas? A. Ensuring the settlement is as low as possible to save costs. B. Prioritizing a quick settlement regardless of the insured's satisfaction. C. Documenting the settlement agreement clearly and comprehensively. D. Avoiding the involvement of legal counsel to expedite the process. Correct answer. C. Documenting the settlement agreement clearly and comprehensively. Explanation: documenting the settlement agreement clearly and comprehensively is crucial to avoid future disputes and ensure that all parties understand the terms. Ensuring the settlement is as low as possible. A. Or prioritizing speed over satisfaction. B. Can compromise fairness. Avoiding legal counsel. D. Can result in legal and procedural issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Settlement Documentation. Question 11. Which of the following is a key aspect of complying with regulatory requirements in Kansas for surplus lines claims handling? A. Ignoring state-specific regulations in favor of federal guidelines. B. Maintaining thorough and accurate records of all claims activities. C. Settling claims based solely on the insurer's internal policies. D. Minimizing communication with the insured to avoid complications. Correct answer. B. Maintaining thorough and accurate records of all claims activities. Explanation: maintaining thorough and accurate records of all claims activities is essential for complying with regulatory requirements in Kansas. Ignoring state-specific regulations. A. Or relying solely on internal policies. C. Can lead to non-compliance. Minimizing communication with the insured. D. Can result in misunderstandings and disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Record Keeping and Compliance. Question 12. Which of the following best describes a key advantage of surplus lines insurance in Kansas? A. It provides coverage for high-risk exposures that standard insurers often avoid. B. It offers low premiums compared to standard insurance. C. It guarantees state-backed financial security for all claims. D. It requires less documentation and underwriting compared to standard insurance. Correct answer: A. It provides coverage for high-risk exposures that standard insurers often avoid. Explanation: surplus lines insurance provides coverage for high-risk exposures that standard insurers often avoid. This allows businesses and individuals with unique or high-risk insurance needs to obtain necessary coverage. Low premiums, B, and state-backed financial security, C, are not inherent advantages of surplus lines insurance. It typically requires more, not less documentation and underwriting. D, compared to standard insurance. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 40246. Surplus lines insurance. Question 13. What is the primary purpose of effective communication during the surplus lines claims handling process in Kansas? A. To expedite the settlement process regardless of accuracy. B. To ensure all parties are well informed and the claims process is transparent. C. To minimize the insured's involvement in the claims process. D. To comply with insurers' internal communication policies. Correct answer. B. To ensure all parties are well informed and the claims process is transparent. Explanation. Effective communication ensures all parties are well informed and the claims process is transparent. This helps build trust and reduces the likelihood of disputes. Expediting the process. A. Should not compromise accuracy. Minimizing the insured's involvement. C. And adhering solely to internal policies. D. Can hinder transparency and fairness. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405-104. Standards for Communication and Documentation. Question 14. In evaluating the extent and value of a claim in Kansas, what is an essential practice for claims adjusters? A. Relying on the insured's initial estimate without further verification. B. Using established loss adjustment techniques and tools. C. Prioritizing the speed of settlement over the accuracy of the evaluation. D. Ignoring the use of outside experts to reduce costs. Correct answer. B. Using established loss adjustment techniques and tools. Explanation. Using established loss adjustment techniques and tools ensures an accurate and fair evaluation of the claim. Relying solely on the insured's estimate. A. Can lead to inaccuracies. Speed. C. Should not compromise the quality of the evaluation. Ignoring outside experts. D. Can result in insufficient assessment. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405-104. Standards for Claims Evaluation. Question 15. Alex, a surplus lines claims adjuster in Kansas, is negotiating a settlement for a fire damage claim. The insured believes the initial offer is too low and provides additional documentation supporting a higher claim amount. How should Alex proceed? A. Deny the additional documentation and proceed with the initial offer. B. Review the additional documentation and reassess the claim amount. C. Reject the insured's request and close the claim. D. Ignore the insured's input and finalize the settlement quickly. Correct answer. B. Review the additional documentation and reassess the claim amount. Explanation. Alex should review the additional documentation and reassess the claim amount to ensure a fair and accurate settlement. Denying or rejecting the additional documentation. A. C. Can lead to disputes. Ignoring the insured's input. D. Compromises the fairness and transparency of the process. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405-104. Standards for Fair Claims Settlement Practices. Question 16. During the litigation of a surplus lines insurance claim in Kansas, which practice is essential for managing litigation expenses? A. Avoiding the use of expert witnesses to reduce costs. B. Coordinating closely with legal counsel and documenting all litigation activities. C. Settling quickly without thorough legal evaluation. D. Minimizing documentation to save on administrative costs. Correct answer. B. Coordinating closely with legal counsel and documenting all litigation activities. Explanation: Coordinating closely with legal counsel and documenting all litigation activities helps manage litigation expenses effectively. Avoiding expert witnesses. A. Or settling quickly without evaluation. C. Can result in unfavorable outcomes. Minimizing documentation. D. Can lead to inadequate records and potential legal issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405-104. Standards for Litigation Management. Question 17. Which of the following is critical for interpreting policy language and exclusions in Kansas surplus lines insurance? A. Relying on generic interpretations applicable to all policies. B. Understanding specific policy terms, definitions, and context. C. Ignoring exclusions to favor the insured's claims. D. Depending solely on the insurer's standard interpretation guidelines. Correct answer. B. Understanding specific policy terms, definitions, and context explanation. Understanding specific policy terms, definitions, and context is critical for accurately interpreting policy language and exclusions. Generic interpretations A. may not apply to all policies. Ignoring exclusions C. can lead to misinterpretations. Depending solely on the insurer's guidelines D. without considering the policy's unique context can result in inaccuracies. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 18. In Kansas, how should a claims professional handle a conflict of interest when processing a surplus lines insurance claim? A. Disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. B. Ignore the conflict and proceed as usual. C. Favor the insurer to maintain their employment. D. Favor the insured to avoid complaints. Correct answer: A. Disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. Explanation: a claims professional should disclose any conflict of interest to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary to maintain integrity and professionalism. Ignoring the conflict B. or favoring one party C. D. compromises ethical standards and can lead to disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 405104. Standards for ethical conduct. Question 19. What is a fundamental requirement for compliance with Kansas state regulations in surplus lines claims handling? A. Following only federal regulations for consistency. B. Ensuring that all surplus lines insurers are properly licensed and registered. C. Using generic claims handling procedures regardless of state specifics. D. Prioritizing speed over regulatory compliance to close claims quickly. Correct answer: B. Ensuring that all surplus lines insurers are properly licensed and registered. Explanation: ensuring that all surplus lines insurers are properly licensed and registered is fundamental for compliance with Kansas state regulations. Following only federal regulations A. or using generic procedures C. can lead to non-compliance with state-specific requirements. Prioritizing speed over compliance D. compromises regulatory adherence. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KSA 40246. Licensing and regulatory compliance. Question 20. What is a best practice for gathering and evaluating evidence in a surplus lines claim investigation in Kansas? A. Relying solely on the insured's provided evidence. B. Conducting a thorough and independent investigation, including site visits and expert consultations. C. Ignoring witness statements to avoid complexity. D. Completing the investigation based on initial impressions to save time. Correct answer: B. Conducting a thorough and independent investigation, including site visits and expert consultations. Explanation: conducting a thorough and independent investigation, including site visits and expert consultations, ensures a comprehensive and accurate evaluation of the claim. Relying solely on the insured's evidence. A. Ignoring witness statements. C. Or basing the investigation on initial impressions. D. Can lead to incomplete or biased conclusions. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 405104. Standards for claims investigation. Question 21. When documenting a settlement agreement for a surplus lines insurance claim in Kansas, what is a crucial element to include? A. A clear and detailed description of the settlement terms and conditions. B. A verbal agreement confirmed through a phone call. C. A vague summary to allow flexibility in interpretation. D. The settlement amount only, without further details. Correct answer: A clear and detailed description of the settlement terms and conditions. Explanation: including a clear and detailed description of the settlement terms and conditions in the documentation is crucial to prevent misunderstandings and disputes. Verbal agreements. B. Vague summaries. C. Or incomplete details. D. Can lead to legal and procedural issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 405104. Standards for settlement documentation. Question 22. Which action demonstrates adherence to professional standards and ethical conduct in handling surplus lines claims in Kansas? A. Ignoring state regulations if they conflict with the insurer's policies. B. Ensuring confidentiality and privacy of all claim-related information. C. Prioritizing the insurer's interests over ethical considerations. D. Delaying claims processing to pressure the insured into a low settlement. Correct answer: B. Ensuring confidentiality and privacy of all claim-related information. Explanation: ensuring confidentiality and privacy of all claim-related information demonstrates adherence to professional standards and ethical conduct. Ignoring state regulations. A. Prioritizing insurers' interests over ethics. C. Or delaying claims processing. D. Compromises ethical standards and can lead to disputes and regulatory actions. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Ethical Conduct and Confidentiality. Question 23. Sarah, a surplus lines claims adjuster in Kansas, is reviewing a claim involving water damage. The policy has specific exclusions for water damage caused by flooding but covers damage from burst pipes. How should Sarah proceed if the insured claims the damage was due to a burst pipe but initial reports indicate possible flooding? A. Deny the claim immediately based on the initial reports. B. Conduct a detailed investigation to determine the exact cause of the water damage. C. Approve the claim based on the insured's statement to avoid disputes. D. Ignore the policy exclusions and process the claim as usual. Correct answer: B. Conduct a detailed investigation to determine the exact cause of the water damage. Explanation: Sarah should conduct a detailed investigation to determine the exact cause of the water damage. This includes gathering evidence, consulting experts, and reviewing all relevant information. Denying the claim immediately. A. Or approving it based on the insured's statement. C. Without a thorough investigation can lead to inaccuracies. Ignoring policy exclusions. D. Is not a proper practice. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Policy Interpretation and Claims Investigation. Question 24. What is an important consideration for a surplus lines claims adjuster when releasing a settlement agreement in Kansas? A. Ensuring all parties have a clear understanding of the settlement terms and conditions. B. Finalizing the settlement without informing the insured to expedite the process. C. Including ambiguous terms to provide flexibility. D. Settling based solely on the insurer's initial offer. Correct answer: A. Ensuring all parties have a clear understanding of the settlement terms and conditions. Explanation: ensuring all parties have a clear understanding of the settlement terms and conditions helps prevent future disputes and ensures transparency. Finalizing the settlement without informing the insured. B. Or including ambiguous terms. C. Can lead to misunderstandings. Selling based solely on the insurer's initial offer. D. May not be fair or adequate. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Settlement Documentation. Question 25. Which of the following is a key aspect of regulatory compliance for surplus lines claims handling in Kansas? A. Adhering to the insurer's internal guidelines exclusively. B. Following state-specific regulations and reporting requirements. C. Ignoring recent regulatory updates if they conflict with existing procedures. D. Prioritizing internal cost-saving measures over compliance. Correct answer: B. Following state-specific regulations and reporting requirements. Explanation: following state-specific regulations and reporting requirements is crucial for regulatory compliance in Kansas. Adhering solely to internal guidelines. A. Or ignoring regulatory updates. C. Can lead to non-compliance. Prioritizing cost-saving measures. D. Overcompliance can result in legal and regulatory issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 40246. Licensing and Regulatory Compliance. Question 26. What is an essential practice for interviewing insured's witnesses and other parties involved in a surplus lines claim in Kansas? A. Conducting interviews in a biased manner to support the insurer's position. B. Ensuring interviews are conducted objectively and all relevant information is gathered. C. Avoiding interviews to expedite the claims process. D. Relying solely on written statements provided by the parties involved. Correct answer. B. Ensuring interviews are conducted objectively and all relevant information is gathered. Explanation. Ensuring interviews are conducted objectively and all relevant information is gathered is essential for a thorough and fair investigation. Conducting biased interviews. A. Or avoiding interviews. C. Can compromise the accuracy and fairness of the investigation. Relying solely on written statements. D. May not provide the complete picture. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Claims Investigation. Question 27. When evaluating the extent and value of a claim in Kansas, what is an important factor to consider? A. The insured's initial estimate as the final value. B. Independent assessment and valuation of the damage. C. The least expensive method to settle the claim. D. The speed of the claims process over accuracy. Correct answer. B. Independent assessment and valuation of the damage. Explanation. An independent assessment and evaluation of the damage ensure an accurate and fair evaluation of the claim. Relying solely on the insured's initial estimate. A. May not be accurate. Prioritizing cost. C. Or speed. D. Over accuracy can lead to disputes and unfair settlements. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Claims Evaluation. Question 28. Mark, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is negotiating a settlement for a property damage claim. The insured provides additional receipts and documentation supporting a higher claim amount than initially estimated. How should Mark proceed? A. Dismiss the additional documentation and proceed with the initial offer. B. Review the additional documentation and reassess the claim value. C. Reject the insured's request and close the claim. D. Ignore the new evidence and finalize the settlement quickly. Correct answer. B. Review the additional documentation and reassess the claim value. Explanation. Mark should review the additional documentation and reassess the claim value to ensure a fair and accurate settlement. Dismissing. A. Rejecting. C. Or ignoring. D. The new evidence can lead to disputes and an unfair settlement. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Fair Claims Settlement Practices. Question 29. Which of the following best describes the importance of understanding policy provisions and coverage limitations in Kansas? A. To interpret policy language favorably for the insurer. B. To ensure that claims are processed according to the specific terms and limitations of the policy. C. To minimize the insured's understanding of their coverage. D. To expedite the claims process regardless of accuracy. Correct answer. B. To ensure that claims are processed according to the specific terms and limitations of the policy. Explanation. Understanding policy provisions and coverage limitations ensures that claims are processed accurately according to the policy's terms, interpreting language favorably for the insurer. A. Minimizing the insured's understanding. C. Or expediting the process at the cost of accuracy. D. Can lead to disputes and unfair practices. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Policy Interpretation. Question 30. In Kansas, what is a critical aspect of complying with fair claims practices? A. Settling claims based solely on the insurer's internal policies. B. Ensuring that all claims are handled in accordance with state-specific regulations and consumer protection laws. C. Prioritizing cost-saving measures over regulatory adherence. D. Ignoring recent regulatory updates to maintain consistency. Correct answer. B. Ensuring that all claims are handled in accordance with state-specific regulations and consumer protection laws. Explanation. Ensuring that all claims are handled in accordance with state-specific regulations and consumer protection laws is critical for compliance. Settling based solely on internal policies, A. Prioritizing cost-saving measures, C. Or ignoring regulatory updates, D. Can lead to non-compliance and potential legal issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 40246. Fair Claims Practices and Consumer Protection. Question 31. How should a claims professional in Kansas handle a potential conflict of interest? A. Disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. B. Ignore the conflict and proceed with processing the claim. C. Favor the insurer to maintain job security. D. Favor the insured to avoid complaints. Correct answer: A. Disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. Explanation: a claims professional should disclose any potential conflict of interest to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary to maintain ethical standards and professionalism. Ignoring the conflict, B. Or favoring one party, C. D. Compromises integrity and can lead to disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for ethical conduct. A. Disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. Explanation: a claims professional should disclose any potential conflict of interest to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary to maintain ethical standards and professionalism. Ignoring the conflict, B. Or favoring one party, C. D. Compromises integrity and can lead to disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for ethical conduct. Correct answer: B. Engaging qualified experts to provide objective and specialized assessments. Explanation: engaging qualified experts ensures objective and specialized assessments which are critical for accurate claims investigation. Avoiding experts, A. Or relying solely on the internal team, C. Can lead to incomplete evaluations. Using experts only upon the insured's request, D. May not always meet the investigation needs. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for claims investigation. Question 33. During the litigation of a surplus lines insurance claim in Kansas, which practice is crucial for effective litigation management? A. Minimizing documentation to reduce administrative work. B. Coordinating closely with legal counsel and maintaining thorough documentation. C. Settling quickly without thorough legal evaluation. D. Avoiding the use of legal counsel to save costs. Correct answer: B. Coordinating closely with legal counsel and maintaining thorough documentation. Explanation: coordinating closely with legal counsel and maintaining thorough documentation are crucial for effective litigation management. Minimizing documentation. A. Settling quickly without evaluation. C. Or avoiding legal counsel. D. Can lead to unfavorable outcomes and legal issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for litigation management. Question 34. Which of the following is a critical consideration when negotiating a surplus lines insurance claim settlement in Kansas? A. Ensuring that all parties clearly understand the terms and conditions of the settlement. B. Finalizing the settlement without informing the insured. C. Including ambiguous terms to allow for flexibility. D. Settling based solely on the insurer's initial offer without negotiation. Correct answer: A. Ensuring that all parties clearly understand the terms and conditions of the settlement. Explanation: ensuring that all parties clearly understand the terms and conditions of the settlement helps prevent misunderstandings and disputes. Finalizing without informing the insured. B. Including ambiguous terms. C. Or settling without negotiation. D. Can lead to unfair and problematic settlements. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for settlement documentation. Question 35. John, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is evaluating a claim involving wind damage. The policy explicitly excludes wind damage caused by hurricanes but covers damage from tornadoes. The insured claims the damage was due to a tornado, but initial reports suggest a hurricane. How should John proceed? A. Deny the claim immediately based on the initial reports. B. Conduct a thorough investigation to determine the exact cause of the wind damage. C. Approve the claim based on the insured's statement to avoid disputes. D. Ignore the policy exclusions and process the claim as usual. Correct answer. B. Conduct a thorough investigation to determine the exact cause of the wind damage. Explanation. John should conduct a thorough investigation to determine the exact cause of the wind damage, including gathering evidence and consulting experts, denying the claim immediately, A, or approving it based on the insured's statement. C. Without thorough investigation can lead to inaccuracies. Ignoring policy exclusions. D. Is improper practice. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KA Part 405104. Standards for Policy Interpretation and Claims Investigation. Question 36. What is a key ethical consideration for a claims professional when handling surplus lines claims in Kansas? A. Prioritizing the insurer's financial interests over ethical standards. B. Ensuring transparency and honesty in all communications with the insured. C. Minimizing the insured's understanding of the claims process. D. Delaying claims processing to reduce the settlement amount. Correct answer. B. Ensuring transparency and honesty in all communications with the insured. Explanation: ensuring transparency and honesty in all communications with the insured upholds ethical standards and builds trust. Prioritizing the insurer's interests. A. Minimizing understanding. C. Or delaying processing. D. Compromises ethical standards and can lead to disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for ethical conduct. Question 37. Which of the following is essential for ensuring regulatory compliance in surplus lines claims handling in Kansas? A. Following only the insurer's internal procedures. B. Adhering to both state-specific regulations and federal guidelines. C. Ignoring updates in state regulations to maintain consistency. D. Prioritizing quick settlements over regulatory adherence. Correct answer. B. Adhering to both state-specific regulations and federal guidelines. Explanation: adhering to both state-specific regulations and federal guidelines ensures comprehensive regulatory compliance. Following only internal procedures. A. Or ignoring regulatory updates. C. Can lead to non-compliance. Prioritizing quick settlements over adherence. D. May result in regulatory issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 40246. Regulatory Compliance Guidelines. Question 38. When reserving and estimating claim costs in Kansas, what should a claims adjuster consider? A. Using the insured's initial estimate without further analysis. B. Applying standard industry reserve practices and regularly reassessing the reserve. C. Setting a minimal reserve to avoid overestimating the claim. D. Delaying the reserve setting until the claim is settled. Correct answer. B. Applying standard industry reserve practices and regularly reassessing the reserve. Explanation: applying standard industry reserve practices and regularly reassessing the reserve ensures accurate and fair claim cost estimations. Using the insured's initial estimate. A. Or setting minimal reserves. C. Without proper analysis can lead to inaccuracies. Delaying reserve setting. D. Can cause financial mismanagement. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for reserving and claims estimation. Question 39. In Kansas, what is a key factor in gathering and evaluating evidence for a surplus lines claim? A. Collecting only the evidence that supports the insurer's position. B. Gathering comprehensive and unbiased evidence from all relevant sources. C. Relying on the insured's statements without further verification. D. Limiting evidence collection to reduce investigation time. Correct answer. B. Gathering comprehensive and unbiased evidence from all relevant sources. Explanation: Gathering comprehensive and unbiased evidence from all relevant sources ensures a fair and thorough investigation. Collecting only evidence supporting the insurer A, or relying solely on the insured's statements C, can lead to biased outcomes. Limiting evidence collection D, may result in an incomplete investigation. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KA 405104. Standards for evidence collection and evaluation. Question 40. David, a Surplus Lines claims adjuster in Kansas, is negotiating a settlement for a fire damage claim. The insured has received multiple repair estimates, and the highest one significantly exceeds the policy limits. What should David do? A. Approve the highest estimate to satisfy the insured. B. Offer the policy limit as the maximum settlement amount. C. Select the lowest estimate to minimize payout. D. Disregard all estimates and make an arbitrary offer. Correct answer: B. Offer the policy limit as the maximum settlement amount. Explanation: David should offer the policy limit as the maximum settlement amount, as it represents the maximum coverage provided by the policy. Approving the highest estimate A, or selecting the lowest C without considering policy limits can be improper. Disregarding estimates D can lead to disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for claims settlement. Question 41. What is the importance of interpreting policy language and exclusions accurately in Kansas? A. To favor the insurer in all claims decisions. B. To ensure that claims are handled according to the specific terms and conditions of the policy. C. To simplify the claims process by ignoring complex language. D. To maximize the claim payout regardless of policy terms. Correct answer: B. To ensure that claims are handled according to the specific terms and conditions of the policy. Explanation: Interpreting policy language and exclusions accurately ensures that claims are handled according to the policy's specific terms and conditions, promoting fairness and compliance, favoring the insurer. A. Or simplifying by ignoring complex language. C. Can lead to disputes. Maximizing payouts regardless of policy terms. D. Is improper. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 42. In Kansas, what is a critical aspect of managing litigation expenses in surplus lines claims? A. Minimizing expenses by avoiding the use of legal counsel. B. Coordinating effectively with legal counsel to manage costs and provide necessary documentation. C. Ignoring litigation expenses to focus on the claim resolution. D. Settling claims quickly to avoid litigation costs. Correct answer: B. Coordinating effectively with legal counsel to manage costs and provide necessary documentation. Explanation: Coordinating effectively with legal counsel to manage costs and provide necessary documentation ensures efficient and controlled litigation expenses. Avoiding legal counsel. A. Or ignoring expenses. C. Can lead to unfavorable outcomes. Selling quickly. D. May not always be in the best interest of the claim resolution. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for litigation management. Question 43. What is an essential aspect of effective communication and documentation in claims handling in Kansas? A. Communicating only with the insurer to streamline the process. B. Ensuring all communications and documents are clear, accurate, and complete. C. Limiting communication to reduce the workload. D. Documenting only major decisions and ignoring minor details. Correct answer: B. Ensuring all communications and documents are clear, accurate, and complete. Explanation: Ensuring all communications and documents are clear, accurate, and complete helps prevent misunderstandings and supports fair claims handling. Communicating only with the insurer. A. Or limiting communication. C. Can lead to incomplete information. Documenting only major decisions. D. May overlook important details. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for communication and documentation. Question 44. What should a claims professional in Kansas do if they become aware of a potential fraudulent claim? A. Ignore it to expedite the claims process. B. Investigate thoroughly and report any findings to the appropriate authorities. C. Approve the claim to avoid conflict with the insured. D. Discuss the fraud suspicion with the insured. Correct answer. B. Investigate thoroughly and report any findings to the appropriate authorities. Explanation. A claims professional should investigate thoroughly and report any findings of potential fraud to the appropriate authorities to uphold ethical standards and legal requirements. Ignoring it, A. Or approving the claim, C. Compromises ethics and legality. Discussing suspicions directly with the insured, D. May not be appropriate without proper investigation. Reference Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for Ethical Conduct and Fraud Prevention. Question 45. What is an important factor in determining coverage and liability in surplus lines claims in Kansas? A. Applying the insurer's preferred interpretation of policy terms. B. Conducting a comprehensive review of the policy language, terms, and conditions. C. Favoring the insured's interpretation to avoid disputes. D. Ignoring policy exclusions to simplify the process. Correct answer. B. Conducting a comprehensive review of the policy language, terms and conditions explanation. Conducting a comprehensive review of the policy language, terms and conditions ensures accurate determination of coverage and liability. Applying the insurer's preferred interpretation or favoring the insured's. C. Can lead to biased outcomes. Ignoring exclusions. D. Is improper. Reference Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for coverage determination. Question 46. What is a crucial step in releasing and documenting settlement agreements in Kansas? A. Using vague terms to allow flexibility in future disputes. B. Ensuring all terms are clearly defined and agreed upon by all parties. C. Finalizing the settlement without documenting it fully to save time. D. Prioritizing the insurer's interests over clarity in documentation. Correct answer. B. Ensuring all terms are clearly defined and agreed upon by all parties. Explanation. Ensuring all terms are clearly defined and agreed upon by all parties helps prevent future disputes and ensures transparency. Using vague terms. A. Or prioritizing the insurer's interests. D. Can lead to misunderstandings. Not fully documenting the settlement. C. Can cause issues later. Reference Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for settlement documentation. Question 47. Lisa, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is handling a claim involving a new regulatory update that affects claim processing. What should Lisa do to ensure compliance? A. Ignore the update and follow the existing procedures. B. Review the regulatory update and adjust her claim processing practices accordingly. C. Process the claim quickly without considering the update. D. Consult with her manager to delay implementing the update. Correct answer. B. Review the regulatory update and adjust her claim processing practices accordingly. Explanation. Lisa should review the regulatory update and adjust her claim processing practices accordingly to ensure compliance. Ignoring the update A. Or processing the claim without considering it. C. Can lead to non-compliance. Consulting with a manager. D. To delay implementation is improper. Reference Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 40246. Regulatory Compliance Guidelines. Question 48. In Kansas, when interviewing witnesses during a claims investigation, what is a critical best practice? A. Conducting interviews without prior preparation to appear neutral. B. Preparing a structured set of questions and ensuring witness statements are recorded accurately. C. Asking leading questions to obtain specific answers. D. Limiting interviews to avoid overwhelming witnesses. Correct answer. B. Preparing a structured set of questions and ensuring witness statements are recorded accurately. Explanation. Preparing a structured set of questions ensures thorough and consistent information gathering. Accurate recording of statements is crucial for reliability. Conducting interviews without preparation can lead to missed information. Asking leading questions, C, can bias responses, and limiting interviews, D, can result in incomplete information. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for witness interviewing. Question 49. Why is compliance with regulatory requirements crucial in surplus lines claims handling in Kansas? A, to expedite the claims process. B, to ensure fair and lawful treatment of all parties involved. C, to prioritize the insurer's interests. D, to simplify the documentation process. Correct answer: B, to ensure fair and lawful treatment of all parties involved. Explanation: compliance with regulatory requirements ensures fair and lawful treatment of all parties, maintaining integrity and transparency, expediting the process. A, or prioritizing the insurer's interests. C, can lead to non-compliance and disputes. Simplifying documentation. D, at the expense of thoroughness, is improper. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 40246. Regulatory compliance guidelines. Question 50. Jane, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is handling a complex claim with multiple settlement options. The insured prefers a structured settlement over a lump sum payment. What should Jane do? A, offer a lump sum payment to simplify the settlement. B, discuss the pros and cons of each option with the insured and proceed based on their preference. C, insist on a structured settlement to meet regulatory standards. D, decide based on what is most convenient for the insurer. Correct answer: B, discuss the pros and cons of each option with the insured and proceed based on their preference. Explanation: Jane should discuss the pros and cons of each option with the insured to ensure they make an informed decision. Offering a lump sum or insisting on a structured settlement. C, without considering the insured's preference, can lead to dissatisfaction. Deciding based on the insurer's convenience. D, is inappropriate. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for settlement options. Question 51. How should a claims adjuster in Kansas interpret policy exclusions? A, strictly to minimize payouts. B, broadly to maximize coverage. C, fairly and consistently according to the policy language and context. D, based on the insured's expectations. Correct answer: C, fairly and consistently according to the policy language and context. Explanation: interpreting policy exclusions fairly and consistently according to the policy language and context ensures accurate and just claims handling. Strict A, or broad B, interpretations can lead to disputes and basing decisions on insured's expectations. D, may not align with policy terms. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 52. What method should a claims adjuster in Kansas use to estimate the value of a complex claim? A, relying solely on initial reports without further evaluation. B, using a combination of industry standard techniques, expert opinions, and detailed analysis. C, estimating based on similar past claims. D, applying a flat rate to all claims. Correct answer: B, using a combination of industry standard techniques, expert opinions, and detailed analysis. Explanation: using a combination of industry standard techniques, expert opinions, and detailed analysis ensures a thorough and accurate claim value estimation. Relying solely on initial reports, say past claims. C, or a flat rate. D, can lead to inaccuracies. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for claims evaluation. Question 53. How should a claims adjuster in Kansas handle a conflict of interest? A, ignore it to avoid complications. B, disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. C, resolve the conflict in favor of the insurer. D, handle the claim without informing anyone. Correct answer: B. Disclose the conflict to all relevant parties and recuse themselves if necessary. Explanation. Disclosing the conflict to all relevant parties and recusing themselves if necessary ensures transparency and maintains ethical standards. Ignoring the conflict. A. Resolving it in favor of the insurer. C. Or handling it without informing anyone. D. Compromises integrity. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for ethical conduct. Question 54. What is a key responsibility of a claims adjuster in Kansas when working with legal counsel during litigation? A. Minimizing the provision of documentation to save time. B. Providing comprehensive documentation and clear communication to support the legal process. C. Delegating all responsibilities to legal counsel. D. Settling claims quickly to avoid litigation. Correct answer. B. Providing comprehensive documentation and clear communication to support the legal process. Explanation. Providing comprehensive documentation and clear communication supports the legal process and ensures effective litigation management. Minimizing documentation. A. Delegating all responsibilities. C. Or settling quickly to avoid litigation. D. Can lead to inadequate representation and outcomes. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for litigation support. Question 55. What role does effective communication play in the claims handling process in Kansas? A. It simplifies the process by reducing the need for documentation. B. It ensures transparency, builds trust, and facilitates fair claim resolution. C. It primarily benefits the insurer by streamlining internal procedures. D. It is only necessary for high-value claims. Correct answer. B. It ensures transparency, builds trust, and facilitates fair claim resolution. Explanation. Effective communication ensures transparency, builds trust, and facilitates fair claim resolution. Reducing documentation. A. Or prioritizing insurer benefits. C. Undermines the process. It is necessary for all claims, not just high-value ones. D. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for communication in claims handling. Question 56. Tom, a claims adjuster in Kansas, is evaluating a property damage claim where the policyholder provided inconsistent statements. What should Tom do? A. Approve the claim to avoid confrontation. B. Conduct a thorough investigation to verify the facts before making a decision. C. Deny the claim based on the inconsistencies. D. Ignore the inconsistencies to expedite the claim process. Correct answer. B. Conduct a thorough investigation to verify the facts before making a decision. Explanation. Tom should conduct a thorough investigation to verify the facts and ensure an accurate decision. Approving the claim to avoid confrontation. A. Denying it based on inconsistencies. C. Or ignoring them to expedite the process. D. Is improper and may lead to unfair outcomes. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for claims evaluation. Question 57. Why is it important to stay updated on recent developments in surplus lines insurance regulations in Kansas? A. To simplify the claims process by using outdated guidelines. B. To ensure ongoing compliance and adapt to regulatory changes. C. To favor the insurer in all claims decisions. D. To reduce the need for regular training and development. Correct answer. B. To ensure ongoing compliance and adapt to regulatory changes. Explanation. Staying updated on recent developments ensures ongoing compliance and adaptation to regulatory changes. Using outdated guidelines can lead to non-compliance, favoring the insurer. C. And reducing training. D. Compromises the quality and integrity of claims handling. Reference. Kansas Insurance Department, KS 40246. Regulatory compliance updates. Question 58. In Kansas, what is the primary purpose of documentation in the claims handling process? A. To create a backup in case of data loss. B. To ensure transparency and provide a clear record of all actions taken. C. To complicate the process for claimants. D. To satisfy internal company policies. Correct answer. B. To ensure transparency and provide a clear record of all actions taken. Explanation. Documentation ensures transparency and provides a clear record of all actions taken, which is essential for accountability and regulatory compliance. Creating backups. They complicating the process. C. Or merely satisfying internal policies. D. Do not encompass the full importance of proper documentation. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for documentation in claims handling. Question 59. How should a claims adjuster in Kansas handle ambiguous policy language? A. Interpret it in favor of the insurer. B. Interpret it in favor of the insured. C. Seek clarification from legal counsel or regulatory bodies. D. Ignore the ambiguity and proceed with the claim. Correct answer. C. Seek clarification from legal counsel or regulatory bodies. Explanation: Seeking clarification from legal counsel or regulatory bodies ensures an accurate and fair interpretation of ambiguous policy language. Interpreting it in favor of the insurer A or insured B without proper guidance can lead to disputes. Ignoring the ambiguity D is inappropriate. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 60. What is a best practice for evaluating evidence in a surplus lines insurance claim in Kansas? A. Accepting all evidence at face value. B. Thoroughly analyzing and corroborating evidence to ensure its accuracy and relevance. C. Relying solely on the insured's statements. D. Dismissing evidence that contradicts the insurer's initial findings. Correct answer. B. Thoroughly analyzing and corroborating evidence to ensure its accuracy and relevance. Explanation: Thoroughly analyzing and corroborating evidence ensures its accuracy and relevance, leading to fair claim evaluations. Accepting evidence at face value A or relying solely on the insured's statements C can result in inaccuracies. Dismissing contradicting evidence D compromises the integrity of the investigation. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for evidence evaluation. Question 61. In Kansas, what should a claims adjuster do if an insured disputes the proposed settlement amount? A. Dismiss the insured's concerns and proceed with the initial amount. B. Review the claim thoroughly and provide a detailed explanation of the settlement calculation. C. Increase the settlement amount without review to satisfy the insured. D. Refer the dispute to the insurer's legal department immediately. Correct answer. B. Review the claim thoroughly and provide a detailed explanation of the settlement calculation. Explanation: Reviewing the claim thoroughly and providing a detailed explanation ensures transparency and may resolve the dispute amicably. Dismissing concerns A or increasing the amount without review C are improper. Immediate referral to the legal department D should be a last resort. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for dispute resolution. Question 62. What is a key factor in managing litigation expenses in Kansas? A. Avoiding documentation to reduce legal fees. B. Collaborating closely with legal counsel to manage costs effectively. C. Settling all claims quickly to avoid litigation. D. Delegating all expense management to the legal team. Correct answer. B. Collaborating closely with legal counsel to manage cost effectively. Explanation: Collaborating closely with legal counsel ensures effective management of litigation expenses. Avoiding documentation and quick settlements C can lead to unfavorable outcomes. Delegating all expense management D without oversight may result in higher costs. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for litigation expense management. Question 63. Why is maintaining confidentiality crucial in surplus lines claims handling in Kansas? A. To prevent claimants from accessing their own information. B. To protect sensitive information and maintain trust. C. To comply with internal company policies only. D. To avoid legal consequences from claimants. Correct answer. B. To protect sensitive information and maintain trust. Explanation. Maintaining confidentiality protects sensitive information and maintains trust between the insurer and the insured, preventing access to their own information. A. And complying only with company policies. C. Do not fully address the importance. Avoiding legal consequences. D. Is a secondary benefit. Reference Kansas Insurance Department KAR 4051004. Standards for confidentiality. Question 64. David, a claims adjuster in Kansas, encounters a claim where the policyholder has opted for arbitration to resolve a dispute. What should David do? A. Insist on litigation instead of arbitration. B. Cooperate fully with the arbitration process and provide all necessary documentation. C. Delay providing information to influence the arbitration outcome. D. Negotiate with the policyholder to avoid arbitration. Correct answer. B. Cooperate fully with the arbitration process and provide all necessary documentation. Explanation. Cooperating fully with the arbitration process and providing necessary documentation ensures a fair and efficient resolution. Insisting on litigation, A, or delaying information, C, undermines the process. Negotiating to avoid arbitration, D, disregards the policyholder's chosen method. Reference Kansas Insurance Department KAR 4051004. Standards for arbitration. Question 65. Which technique is most effective for a claims adjuster in Kansas to estimate the costs of future medical treatments in a personal injury claim? A. Using generic cost estimates from previous claims. B. Consulting with medical experts to obtain specific treatment cost projections. C. Relying on the insured's own estimates. D. Applying a standard multiplier to current medical expenses. Correct answer. B. Consulting with medical experts to obtain specific treatment cost projections. Explanation. Consulting with medical experts ensures accurate and specific cost projections for future treatments. Using generic estimates, say, relying on the insured's estimates. C. Or applying a standard multiplier. D. Can lead to inaccuracies. Reference Kansas Insurance Department KVAR 4051004. Standards for medical cost estimation. Question 66. How should a claims adjuster in Kansas utilize outside experts in a claims investigation? A. Only when mandated by policy. B. When specialized knowledge is required to assess complex aspects of the claim. C. To defer decision-making to the expert. D. To shift responsibility away from the adjuster. Correct answer. B. When specialized knowledge is required to assess complex aspects of the claim. Explanation. Utilizing outside experts when specialized knowledge is required ensures thorough and accurate assessment. Mandating the or deferring decisions to the expert. C. Without need is improper. Shifting responsibility. D. Undermines the adjuster's role. Reference Kansas Insurance Department KVAR 4051004. Standards for expert utilization. Question 67. In Kansas, why is it important for a claims adjuster to comply with fair claims practices? A. To speed up the claim settlement process. B. To avoid penalties and ensure consumer protection. C. To minimize the workload. D. To prioritize the insurer's interests. Correct answer. B. To avoid penalties and ensure consumer protection. Explanation. Complying with fair claims practices avoids penalties and ensures consumer protection, maintaining integrity in claims handling, speeding up the process. A. Minimizing workload. C. Or prioritizing the insurer's interests. D. At the expense of fairness is improper. Reference Kansas Insurance Department KSA 402404. Unfair claims settlement practices. Question 68. In Kansas, which method is most appropriate for gathering evidence during a claims investigation? A. Relying solely on the statements of the insured. B. Conducting a thorough investigation, including interviews and physical evidence collection. C. Accepting the initial report without further verification. D. Delegating the investigation entirely to a third-party company without oversight. Correct answer: B. Conducting a thorough investigation, including interviews and physical evidence collection. Explanation: conducting a thorough investigation, including interviews and physical evidence collection, ensures the accuracy and integrity of the claims process. Relying solely on the insured's statements. A. Accepting initial reports without verification. C. Or delegating without oversight. D. Can lead to incomplete or biased information. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for claims investigation. Question 69. What is a key role of the claims adjuster in the surplus lines insurance claims handling process in Kansas? A. Minimizing payouts to insured parties. B. Ensuring that claims are handled fairly, promptly, and in accordance with policy terms. C. Prioritizing the insurer's financial interests above all. D. Ignoring regulatory compliance to expedite the claims process. Correct answer: B. Ensuring that claims are handled fairly, promptly, and in accordance with policy terms. Explanation: a claims adjuster must ensure that claims are handled fairly, promptly, and in accordance with policy terms, maintaining integrity and regulatory compliance, minimizing payouts. A. Prioritizing insurers' financial interests. C. Or ignoring compliance. D. Or improper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 402404. Unfair claims settlement practices. Question 70. How should a claims adjuster in Kansas interpret coverage limitations in a surplus lines insurance policy? A. As strictly as possible to deny claims. B. In a way that aligns with the policyholder's expectations, regardless of the policy wording. C. By considering the policy language, exclusions, and relevant legal guidelines. D. Based solely on the insurer's internal guidelines. Correct answer: C. By considering the policy language, exclusions, and relevant legal guidelines. Explanation: interpreting coverage limitations by considering policy language, exclusions, and relevant legal guidelines ensures a fair and accurate assessment. Strict denial. A. Or aligning with expectations. B. Without basis and relying solely on internal guidelines. D. Or improper. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 71. In Kansas, what is the primary consideration when negotiating a settlement agreement? A. The adjuster's ability to minimize the settlement amount. B. Ensuring the settlement is fair and reflects the extent of the loss and policy terms. C. The speed at which the settlement can be concluded. D. The adjuster's personal assessment of the claimant. Correct answer: B. Ensuring the settlement is fair and reflects the extent of the loss and policy terms. Explanation: negotiating a fair settlement that reflects the extent of the loss and policy terms is paramount. Minimizing the amount. A. Prioritizing speed. C. Or relying on personal assessment. D. Compromises fairness and compliance. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 402404. Unfair claims settlement practices. Question 72. Why is it important for a claims adjuster in Kansas to avoid conflicts of interest? A. To ensure personal financial gain. B. To maintain trust and integrity in the claims handling process. C. To expedite the claims process. D. To avoid additional paperwork. Correct answer: B. To maintain trust and integrity in the claims handling process. Explanation: avoiding conflicts of interest maintains trust and integrity in the claims handling process, ensuring fair treatment of all parties. Personal financial gain. A. Expediting processes. C. Or avoiding paperwork. D. Or improper motivations. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for ethical conduct. Question 73. What is the most appropriate method for a claims adjuster in Kansas to estimate the value of property damage? A. Using the original purchase price of the property. B. Consulting with independent appraisers to determine current market value. C. Applying a standard depreciation rate without inspection. D. Accepting the policyholder's estimate without verification. Correct answer: B. Consulting with independent appraisers to determine current market value. Explanation: consulting with independent appraisers ensures an accurate estimation of current market value using original purchase price. A. Standard depreciation rates without inspection. C. Or accepting policyholders' estimates without verification. D. Can lead to inaccuracies. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for property damage valuation. Question 74. What is the consequence of failing to comply with Kansas state regulations governing surplus lines insurance claims? A. Increased customer satisfaction. B. Legal penalties and potential loss of license. C. Faster claim settlements. D. Greater autonomy in claims handling. Correct answer: B. Legal penalties and potential loss of license. Explanation: non-compliance with state regulations can result in legal penalties and loss of license, compromising the insurer's ability to operate. Increased customer satisfaction. A. Faster settlements. C. Or greater autonomy. D. Are not typical consequences. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSD 402404. Unfair claims settlement practices. Question 75. Scenario: Mr. Roberts is a claims adjuster in Kansas handling a complex claim involving significant property damage and potential fraud. What should Mr. Roberts prioritize in his investigation? A. Closing the claim as quickly as possible. B. Thoroughly gathering and verifying all evidence, including consulting experts if necessary. C. Relying on the initial police report without further investigation. D. Delegating the investigation entirely to an external agency. Correct answer: B. Thoroughly gathering and verifying all evidence, including consulting experts if necessary. Explanation: thoroughly gathering and verifying all evidence, including consulting experts if necessary, ensures a comprehensive and accurate investigation. Closing quickly. A. Relying solely on the police report. C. Or delegating without oversight. D. Are improper. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for evidence gathering. Question 76. Which option best reflects an adjuster's responsibility when a claimant in Kansas disputes the claim amount based on additional damages discovered post-settlement? A. Deny any additional payment requests. B. Reopen the claim to investigate the newly reported damages. C. Ignore the claimant's request. D. Refer the claimant to legal counsel immediately. Correct answer: B. Reopen the claim to investigate the newly reported damages. Explanation: reopening the claim to investigate newly reported damages ensures fairness and proper resolution. Denying requests. A. Ignoring. C. Or referring to legal counsel immediately. D. Without investigation can lead to disputes and regulatory issues. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for claim reevaluation. Question 77. In Kansas, how should a claims adjuster handle confidential information related to a claim? A. Share it freely within the company to expedite claims processing. B. Disclose it only to authorized individuals involved in the claims process. C. Use it to gain personal advantage. D. Disregard confidentiality if it slows down the claim process. Correct answer: B. Disclose it only to authorized individuals involved in the claims process. Explanation: disclosing confidential information only to authorized individuals maintains privacy and complies with ethical standards. Sharing freely. A. Using for personal advantage. C. Or disregarding confidentiality. D. Are unethical and improper. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for confidentiality and privacy. Question 78. What is a key advantage of surplus lines insurance for insureds in Kansas? A. Low premiums compared to admitted insurers. B. Access to unique and specialized coverage is not available in the admitted market. C. Guaranteed coverage for all types of risks. D. Exemption from state regulatory requirements. Correct answer. B. Access to unique and specialized coverage is not available in the admitted market. Explanation. Surplus lines insurance provides access to unique and specialized coverages that are not available in the admitted market, addressing the needs of high-risk or unusual exposures. Low premiums A and guaranteed coverage C are not guaranteed, and surplus lines insurers must still adhere to certain state regulations. D. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 4051001. Surplus lines insurance. Question 79. What is a crucial step in determining liability in a surplus lines claim in Kansas? A. Consulting only the insured's statement. B. Reviewing the policy terms and applicable exclusions thoroughly. C. Ignoring any exclusions in the policy. D. Relying solely on the insurer's internal guidelines. Correct answer. B. Reviewing the policy terms and applicable exclusions thoroughly. Explanation. Determining liability requires a thorough review of policy terms and applicable exclusions to ensure accurate and fair claims handling. Consulting only the insured's statement. A. Ignoring exclusions. C. Or relying solely on internal guidelines. D. Own proper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 4051004. Standards for policy evaluation. Question 80. Why is effective communication critical in the surplus lines claims handling process in Kansas? A. To minimize the workload of claims adjusters. B. To ensure transparency and build trust between all parties involved. C. To avoid having to document the claims process. D. To prioritize the interests of the insurer. Correct answer. B. To ensure transparency and build trust between all parties involved. Explanation. Effective communication ensures transparency and builds trust between all parties, facilitating a smooth and fair claims process. Minimizing workload. A. Avoiding documentation. C. Or prioritizing the insurer's interests. D. Can lead to misunderstandings and disputes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 4051004. Standards for communication in claims handling. Question 81. Scenario: MS. Davis is investigating a complex claim involving business interruption in Kansas. What should be her primary focus during the investigation? A. Quickly closing the claim to save time. B. Thoroughly documenting and verifying all aspects of the interruption and associated losses. C. Relying on the insured's initial claim report without further investigation. D. Ignoring any inconsistencies found during the investigation. Correct answer. B. Thoroughly documenting and verifying all aspects of the interruption and associated losses. Explanation. Thorough documentation and verification ensure that all aspects of the business interruption and associated losses are accurately assessed. Quickly closing the claim. A. Relying solely on the initial report. C. Or ignoring inconsistencies. D. Can result in inaccurate or unfair settlements. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KAR 4051004. Standards for claims investigation. Question 82. Which factor is critical when releasing and documenting a settlement agreement in Kansas? A. Ensuring the agreement is vague to allow flexibility. B. Clearly outlining all terms, conditions, and amounts in the settlement. C. Minimizing the documentation to expedite the process. D. Prioritizing the insurer's interests over the claimant's. Correct answer. B. Clearly outlining all terms, conditions, and amounts in the settlement explanation. Clearly outlining all terms, conditions, and amounts ensures transparency and avoids future disputes. Vague agreements say minimal documentation. C. Or prioritizing insurers' interests. D. Compromise fairness and clarity. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department KSA 402404. Unfair claims settlement practices. Question 83. What is a primary responsibility of a claims adjuster during the litigation process in Kansas? A. Ignoring court requests to avoid additional work. B. Providing accurate documentation and evidence to support the insurer's position. C. Avoiding any involvement in the litigation process. D. Only communicating with the claimant's attorney. Correct answer. B. Providing accurate documentation and evidence to support the insurer's position. Explanation. Providing accurate documentation and evidence is essential to support the insurer's position during a litigation. Ignoring court requests. A. Avoiding involvement. C. Or only communicating with the claimant's attorney. D. Are improper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, K8R 405104. Standards for litigation support. Question 84. Why is maintaining confidentiality crucial in surplus lines claims handling in Kansas? A. To comply with regulatory requirements and protect sensitive information. B. To allow for the free exchange of information within the company. C. To minimize the need for detailed documentation. D. To expedite the claims process. Correct answer: A. To comply with regulatory requirements and protect sensitive information. Explanation: Maintaining confidentiality complies with regulatory requirements and protects sensitive information, ensuring trust and integrity in the claims process. Free exchange of information. B. Minimizing documentation. C. Or expediting the process. D. At the expense of confidentiality is improper. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, K8R 405104. Standards for confidentiality. Question 85. What is a critical aspect of complying with fair claims practices in Kansas? A. Settling claims based on personal discretion. B. Adhering to established timelines and procedures for claims handling. C. Prioritizing the insurer's financial interests. D. Ignoring state regulations if they delay the process. Correct answer: B. Adhering to established timelines and procedures for claims handling. Explanation: Adhering to established timelines and procedures ensures compliance with fair claims practices, promoting fairness and efficiency. Settling based on personal discretion. A. Prioritizing financial interests. C. Or ignoring regulations. D. Are improper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KSA 402404. Unfair claims settlement practices. Question 86. What is an effective method for reserving and estimating claim costs in Kansas? A. Using a fixed percentage of the policy limit. B. Continuously reviewing and adjusting reserves based on new information and claim development. C. Setting reserves at the lowest possible amount to minimize impact on the insurer's financials. D. Avoiding reserve adjustments to simplify accounting. Correct answer: B. Continuously reviewing and adjusting reserves based on new information and claim development. Explanation: Continuously reviewing and adjusting reserves ensures that estimates accurately reflect current information and claim developments. Using fixed percentages. A. Setting reserves at the lowest amount. C. Or avoiding adjustments. D. Can lead to inaccuracies. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for reserving and estimating. Question 87. Scenario: Mr. Thompson is handling a claim where the policyholder disputes the settlement amount. What should be his approach to resolve the dispute in Kansas? A. Stand by the original settlement offer without reconsideration. B. Reevaluate the claim, considering any new evidence or information presented. C. Refer the policyholder to legal counsel immediately. D. Close the claim to avoid further complications. Correct answer: B. Reevaluate the claim, considering any new evidence or information presented. Explanation: Reevaluating the claim with new evidence ensures a fair and accurate resolution. Standing by the original offer. A. Referring immediately to legal counsel. C. Or closing the claim. D. Without reconsideration can lead to unfair outcomes. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for dispute resolution. Question 88. How should exclusions in a surplus lines insurance policy be interpreted in Kansas? A. In a way that maximizes coverage for the policyholder. B. Strictly based on the plain language of the policy. C. Flexibly to favor the insurer's interests. D. Ignored if they complicate the claims process. Correct answer. B. Strictly based on the plain language of the policy explanation. Exclusions should be interpreted strictly based on the plain language of the policy to ensure clarity and fairness. Maximizing coverage, favoring the insurer's interests. C. Or ignoring exclusions. D. Are improper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for policy interpretation. Question 89. Which best practice should a claims adjuster in Kansas follow when interviewing witnesses during a claims investigation? A. Leading the witnesses to confirm predetermined conclusions. B. Documenting all statements accurately and without bias. C. Relying on memory to report witness statements later. D. Avoiding interviews to save time. Correct answer. B. Documenting all statements accurately and without bias. Explanation: accurate and unbiased documentation of witness statements ensures the integrity of the investigation. Leading witnesses. A. Relying on memory. C. Or avoiding interviews. D. Are improper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for witness interviews. Question 90. What is an appropriate action for a claims adjuster when managing litigation expenses in Kansas? A. Ignoring the cost implications to focus solely on the case outcome. B. Working closely with legal counsel to control and manage expenses effectively. C. Delegating all financial decisions to the legal team. D. Prioritizing cost savings over case strategy. Correct answer. B. Working closely with legal counsel to control and manage expenses effectively. Explanation: collaborating with legal counsel ensures effective management of litigation expenses while maintaining case strategy. Ignoring costs. A. Delegating all decisions. C. Or prioritizing savings over strategy. D. Are improper practices. Reference: Kansas Insurance Department, KAR 405104. Standards for litigation expense management.